Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're getting into something pretty heavy, navigating divorce when your partner shows narcissistic traits. We're using Dr. Karyl McBride's book, Will I Ever Be Free of You, as our guide.
Yeah, it's definitely a challenging topic and often really misunderstood. And this book provides some crucial insights.
So our mission here is basically to pull out the key ideas from the book.
Well,
Understanding the dynamics, the specific challenges you might face in the divorce itself, and importantly, how to heal afterwards for yourself and any kids involved.
exactly. And the book does a good job, I think, of helping you spot what might be narcissistic patterns, not just someone being difficult.
Right. It mentions things like the DSM criteria, and there are checklists in there too.
Helps clarify things like a real lack of empathy, that constant need for admiration. It's about identifying a pattern.
Okay, and one thing that struck me was why normal couples therapy often just doesn't work in these situations.
Well, yeah. The book points to the power imbalance, fundamentally.
Yeah.
And the partner with narcissistic traits often struggles massively with, like, genuine self-reflection,
So it becomes more about blame.
pretty much. It tends to focus on blaming others rather than taking any real responsibility, which makes therapy kind of pointless or even damaging sometimes.
Okay, so then you get to the divorce process itself. The book suggests it can get really intense, high conflict.
Definitely. You're potentially looking at intense legal fights, really difficult custody disputes. It's not your standard separation.
What sort of tactics does the book warn about, things listeners should, be aware of?
Oh, it covers quite a bit. Things like manipulation, maybe false accusations being thrown around.
Oh,
Yeah, financial control is a big one too. Or using the kids as pawns, sadly.
that really highlights why having the right legal support is so critical, doesn't it? Someone who gets these dynamics.
Absolutely essential.
Mhm.
You need someone experienced specifically in high conflict cases like these.
And moving beyond the legal stuff, the book really focuses on healing. It talks about narcissistic injury. What exactly is that?
So think of it this way. For someone with strong narcissistic traits, the divorce isn't just, the end of a relationship. It hits them much deeper.
So?
It's like a massive blow to their inflated self-image, almost like you're exposing a flaw they can't tolerate. And that feeling of being deeply wounded, that injury, often fuels how they act afterwards.
Okay. That makes sense of some of the extreme reactions, maybe.
It can, yeah. And related to that is projection. The book talks about how they might sort of dump their own unacceptable feelings onto you.
Like what? Can you give an example?
Sure. Like if they're feeling deeply insecure, they might constantly accuse you of being needy or unstable. It's a way of avoiding their own stuff.
I see. So recognizing that is key. And the book also hammers home the need for boundaries, right? Really firm ones.
Absolutely critical. It's about learning to detach emotionally, figuring out what sets you off your triggers, and communicating really clearly.
How do you do that when things are so heated?
It's tough, but it means being direct, sticking to facts, and trying really hard not to get sucked into emotional arguments. It takes practice.
And the book offers that 5-step recovery model to help structure that.
Exactly. It provides a roadmap, really. Starts with acceptance, then psychological separation, kind of disentangling yourself mentally.
Then reclaiming yourself, managing interactions.
Right. And ultimately ending the legacy so it doesn't keep repeating.
It sounds like a path towards actually getting free, like the title suggests. And a huge piece of this is the kids. Empathetic parenting comes up a lot.
Oh, hugely important. The book stresses how vital the non-narcissistic parent's role is, providing stability, understanding.
Just being that safe harbor for them.
Yes, validating their feelings, teaching them about healthy boundaries themselves, and sort of counteracting the negativity they might be getting from the other side.
Looking bigger picture for a second, the book even talks about changing the system, something called the AIMS Project.
Yeah, Dr. McBride advocates for changes in the court system, basically helping courts better recognize and handle these high-conflict divorces where impaired empathy is a major factor.
The main goal being
Protecting the kids, making sure their well-being is truly the priority in court decisions.
okay, so wrapping this up, the big takeaways seem to be learning to recognize these narcissistic patterns, understanding just how complex and difficult this specific type of divorce can be,
And knowing the kinds of tactics you might face.
and then focusing hard on your own healing and really protecting the children through empathetic parenting.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And remembering things like narcissistic injury and projection helps you make sense of it all. Plus, setting those boundaries, that's where your power comes back.
That empathetic parenting point feels absolutely central for the kid's future.
It really is. It's about giving them the tools and the emotional support to navigate a really difficult situation.
This deep dive definitely gives a lot to process. And maybe a final thought for everyone listening. Think about how understanding these kinds of intense relationship dynamics, even if you're not facing this specific divorce scenario, can actually sharpen your awareness overall. Recognizing patterns, understanding motivations, it might lead to healthier connections everywhere in your life.